Cal clicks his mouse, preparing to log into a game. The login interface appears on his screen, where he enters his ID and password. A message confirms that the game is connecting, followed by a successful login. He is then welcomed as user Outboxer1009. In the game world, Kale's character Outboxer1009 stands amidst a vibrant, fantastical landscape. Immediately, a game message pops up and Outboxer1009 questions what he is seeing, noting that it appeared right as he logged in. A system message announces that Lacygang's wings are being sold in the item shop, and a warning advises that excessive gaming is harmful for one's health. In the game chat, Romanicat comments that the note life is on. Outboxer1009 exclaims in disbelief about being called a no life and challenges whoever made the remark. Kale continues to click his mouse. A welcome message greets Outboxer1009 to the world of Legend of Heroes 2. In the ongoing chat, Atlanticat remarks that the no life is on. Outboxer1009 retorts that the comment is rich coming from someone rotting away in a corner, then asks if everyone is present. Yellowstorm challenges Boxer, asking if he is prepared to drop to second place on this month's rankings. Kyle, observing the chat, wonders what they should do today. He makes a sound of inquiry as he processes the messages. Kale then smirks, appearing confident. His in-game character Outboxer1009 stands poised, considering checking out the month's rankings first. A display confirms that Outboxer1009 is the individual player ranked number 1, holding the position for 22 consecutive months. The story introduces Legend of Heroes 2, a well-made game that still has many players even after launching over 10 years ago. It features a system that allows users to select and nurture a playable character within the game's world according to their preferences. Based on in-game achievements, a monthly ranking occurs, and top players can enter the Hall of Fame. A male player. Kale muses that today is the day the new rankings will be announced. He walks confidently as another player, later identified as Yellowstorm, observes him. Romenticat, a player with cat ears, greets Kyle, playfully calling him their rank 1 boxer Hyungnam. Romenticat's player rank is 95. Another player, Yellowstorm, who uses a female avatar with pink and blue hair and wings, wonders if there will be an upset in the rankings this month. Yellowstorm then declares that they will be rank 1 this time, having held rank 2 for 21 consecutive months. Kyle laughs and teases Yellowstorm, calling their avatar Yeast, and noting that its wings are clipping into the wall. Kale comments that while he knows it, it is still shocking that these players dress up their avatars so cutely. The player Yellowstorm, a male in glasses, retorts that Cal's eyes are bigger than his stomach, chuckling to himself. Yellowstorm, in their avatar, angrily exclaims that this time it is different. Romendicat laughs and sarcastically tells Yellowstorm they can dream as much as they wish. Suddenly, an announcement is made that this month's results are coming up, and anticipation fills revealed. Rank 1 is Outboxer1009 with 315, 234, 999 points, maintaining the top spot for 23 consecutive months. Ranth 352 and 34 and 25 points, marking their 22nd consecutive month at this rank. The third place player so announced with 315, 233, 101 points. Kyle, Yellowstorm, and Romenicat all react in silence to the announced rankings. Yellowstorm exclaims loudly, expressing extreme frustration and asking what this situation is. In the chat, Yellowstorm repeatedly expresses anger and confusion while Outboxer1009 playfully mocks Yellowstorm about the point difference. Outboxer1009 then announces his departure, telling Yellowstorm to work harder. Yellowstorm's attempts to express frustration are met with messages that her severe profanity is restricted. Romenicat advises Yellowstorm to calm down, warning that she will get chat restrict. Yellowstorm continues to be frustrated about the point difference, which Outboxer1009 acknowledges but dismisses. Yellowstorm's fuck is again restricted as profanity. Finally, Outboxer1009 says goodnight, hoping Yellowstorm dreams about him, and Yellowstorm's profanity is restricted one last time. Yellowstorm, now in a more realistic form, is told by Romenicat to calm down or she will get chat restricted. Outboxer1009 and Yellowstorm are logged out. Yellowstorm looks back in confusion and questions if they really left. She then remarks that she bets a steamy BL novel is going to come out, jokingly connecting the event to the underdog of Storm Zero and imagining wedding vows. The scene transitions to a cosmic environment as Kang Jinho and Hong Yu enter Pleiades. Kang Jinho lets out a scream, finding himself in a grand room. He repeatedly exclaims in distress, stating that he cannot breathe properly, and his vision becomes blurry. Yuderbale awakens, disoriented and feeling dizzy. He stumbles, wondering if he has caught a cold. He then looks into a mirror, astonished to see a reflection that resembles a younger version of a character he played in the game, Legend of Heroes 2. He stares, realizing the reflection is indeed himself. Yuderbale cries out in pain as an influx of information floods his mind. He learns this world is Pleiades, a fantasy world from Legend of Heroes 2, where heroes adventure, nations wage war, and demons and angels descend. Yuderbale understands that he has entered the game as the formerly frail Yuderbale, the second son of the Bale House, renowned for its swordsmanship, the very character he once played as Oubiozer09. A knock sounds at the door, and an unidentified maid asks if she may enter, addressing him as young master. Yuderbale is shocked, internally questioning if he is a young master. The maid opens the door, still inquiring if the young master is present. A young man walks stiffly, looking embarrassed. He thinks about how awkward and embarrassing this moment is. Maya, Yuderbale's personal maid, bows and explains that she assumed he had left the room and apologizes for her rudeness. The young man is overwhelmed, trying to process that this is Bale House's maid Maya. He tells her it was nothing, clears his throat, and asks what she wants. He thinks he needs to calm down, unsure of the situation. Maya informs him that she came to find him because the lady with whom he had an engagement ceremony has arrived for a visit. The young man's hand twitches. He and Maya walk towards the Bale house drawing room. The young man instructs himself to forget his fluttering heart and focus on meeting people to understand the current situation. He recalls that Uter's fiancée is Cordelia Erman, from the Cordelia house, a family known for their magic. He remembers that his character, Yellowstorm, used to play Cordelia in a game, and his heart pounds, acknowledging that the real Cordelia is now his fiancée, approaching the situation with a gamer's mindset. Inside the drawing room, Cordelia, a woman with pink hair, is lounging on a sofa and stretching, expressing her impatience about the long wait. Yellowstorm, a man in a blue uniform, stands nearby. The young man, Uter, enters the room with Maya. He starts to introduce himself as Outboxer, then corrects himself, stating he is the second son of the Bale house, Uter Bale. Cordelia looks at him and pronounces his name, Uter Bale. Yellowstorm cries out in distress. Yellowstorm and Outbox 2009 are in a room when a maid, Mira, addresses Outbox 2009, asking why he did something. Outbox 2009, looking shocked, demands that someone come out of wherever they are hiding. Yellowstorm also appears shocked. Later, Outbox 2009, looking troubled, questions if this means he's engaged to someone who was a man in their previous life. Yellowstorm, looking surprised, asks what he is saying, specifically if she was originally a girl as well. Both Outbox 2009 and Yellowstorm are utterly baffled by the revelations. Kane begins to address Lyra as Mina stands nearby. Mina questions the situation with a worried expression. Lyra, looking greatly distressed, shouts at Kane, asking why he is there. Kane, also looking shocked, tries to calm everyone down, stating that they should calm down. Kane ponders that someone is here because she is Uta Bale's fiancée, then questions what he just heard. He then asks what this is. Elsewhere, Lyra asks if her young master is okay. Aaron exclaims in confusion why the name Yellow Tempest is also there, then sighs. Aaron clears his throat and apologizes for his behavior. Yellow replies that it is fine. Yellow then asks Aaron to take a seat, to which Aaron agrees. The two sit across from each other in silence. Kane decides that they should test her first. Kane then addresses Yellow, who asks for clarification. Kane repeats, Yellow. Kane bows and greets Yellow, using a short form for Yellow Tempest. Yellow, a pink-haired woman sitting in a chair, appears quite surprised by his address. Kane observes that Yellow has displayed a very obvious reaction to his greeting. Kane then thinks to himself that he has a lot of questions, but notes that there are others present in the room, referring to maid Lyra and guard Aaron. He states that he needs to move to a location where they can talk alone. Yellow, looking surprised, declares that this marks the start of a cooperation battle. Kane, now seated, gives the entrance coordinates as 9 o'clock, 9 space. Cordelia thinks that the code means they will meet at 12 a.m. when the cooperation battle of Legend of Heroes 2 starts. She further thinks that the coordinates point to the 9 o'clock direction and the 9th space from the entrance, and that they both have a lot of things to say, so they should meet in the corner of her house's garden. Kane wonders if he truly is the Yellow Tempest, then he would have understood the message. Cordelia confirms the plan. Cordelia then tells Dahlia that they should go. As Cordelia and Dahlia walk away, Dahlia questions her, referring to Cordelia as young miss. Kane clears his throat and then states that he will wait for the next time they meet, addressing Cordelia as Lady Cordelia. Maid Lyra asks young Master Aaron what just happened. Young Master Aaron reassures her, stating that everything is okay and fine. Young Master Aaron then sighs, remarking that something is driving him nuts and he cannot believe the other person said, Roger. It is then explained that this is actually how Yellow Tempest speaks. Young Master Aaron sighs again, contemplating the cold weather, noting it feels like the north even though it is summer. He wonders if Yellow Tempest has arrived. Looking around the garden, young Master Aaron exclaims that Yellow Tempest is there. He then calls out Yellow Tempest's name as a cloaked figure walks away. Lyra stands looking up at Outbox 2009 as he looks down at her, surrounded by a cosmic sky and trees. Outbox 2009 states his name. Outbox 2009 walks, and Lyra follows him through a modern garden. Outbox 2009 then asks Lyra if he can try something he has just thought of. Lyra exclaims her excitement, stating that she knows what he is referring to and is looking forward to it. A hand reaches out. An elderly man asks Outbox 2009 if he also feels a certain way. Outbox 2009 confirms that he does, and Lyra also affirms that she feels the same. Back in the garden at night, Outbox 2009 suggests they stop fooling around and talk about serious matters, then asks Lyra when she woke up. Lyra states that 2 days ago, she suddenly woke up in the Pleiades and asks Kane about his experience. Kane muses that it was also around 2 days ago for him. Lyra questions why Kane is being so vague. Kane replies that he cannot help it and implies Lyra knows the reason as well. Kane then speaks of the constitution of Uta Bale, revealing a condition known as 9 yin severed meridians. This disease forms from birth due to too much yin energy, causing the body to have an abnormal circulatory system that cannot circulate energy properly. Because of this, Uta Bale would be in an extremely weak state and unable to use mana. Kane laments that to make things worse, obtaining the cure is difficult. He finds it pretty unfair, wondering why Uta Bale, of all people, received this condition, even though he is talented enough to overshadow the 9 yin severed meridians problem. Kale thinks that an overpowered character like Leon or Maximilian would have been better. Cal continues, explaining that he was pretty sick 2 days ago, speaking gibberish. Rose questions he was speaking gibberish. Kale elaborates, saying that in Maya's words he had asked her where he was. Rose realizes that is why Kale's memories were hazy for 2 days, to which Cal responds with Rose then exclaims, asking if that means Kale is alright now. Lady Fiona confronts Kyle, stating that she came looking for him earlier that morning and questioning why she needs to meet him secretly here. She adds that Kale knows how hard it is for a grown lady to go out without her parents knowing. Kale, with a surprised expression, retorts that he has the 9 yin severed meridian so he could not possibly jump over walls. He then asks Lady Fiona since when she became a woman. Rose looks at Kale then asks if Lady Fiona has been a woman since birth. Kale, holding an item, then says, Kale expresses his surprise internally. Ren exclaims, asking Yellow Tempest if she is a woman. Ren then asks Yellow Tempest directly if she is a man. Yellow Tempest states that she is of course a woman. She clarifies that she just did not mention it before because she did not find the need to. Ren accepts this explanation though he genuinely seems to have been unaware. Ren clarifies that he was mistaken because Yellow Tempest says things like Roger, questioning why she would use army radio slang. Ren clears his throat, telling Yellow Tempest not to be too upset, and explains that he had another reason for inviting her to his house. Yellow Tempest asks what the reason is. Ren explains that his father, Count Bale, went on an expedition with his older brother and vassals. He continues, saying that this is why the mansion is empty, and they do not need to worry about getting caught. Ren believes this is true as he remembers sending them off. Ren then has a moment of realization, questioning if he actually remembers sending them off. Yellow Tempest asks Ren if he feels the same way. Ren asks her to clarify. Lyra tells Kyle that they have become characters of the game they were so obsessed with. She explains that at first, she felt like she simply entered it. Lyra continues, expressing that somehow, she is starting to feel like her past life was the game Yellow Tempest itself. She elaborates that she no longer feels like her current memories and Cordelia's memories are jumbled up. Lyra then states that it's even to the extent where she would naturally call Count Chase her father. Kyle responds, pointing out that Lyra just called Count Bile my father too, and it seemed like something she was very used to doing. Kale agrees that he felt that too. He then pauses, asking Lyra if this doesn't mean that they did not just enter into the game, but that this place is their reality. Kale concludes that this is dangerous, stating that if this place is their reality then they have no place to return to. The city of Pleiades is consumed by a raging inferno with flames licking at its towering structures and sparks flying into the dark fairy sky. A voice states that Pleiades is destined to be destroyed by the great summoning ritual. A vibrant, fiery landscape dominates the upper portion of the scene. Below Cal, a young man with dark hair and green eyes, appears to be contemplating something. He muses aloud then suggests that this pic isn't too bad if you think of it like that. Behind Cal stands a formidable, bear-like creature. Cal then retracts his previous statement, instructing to cancel that Leon or Maximilian or whatever. Aaron, a character with red hair, expresses clear frustration at Cal's words. Cal questions what the other person is saying and how they are able to laugh right now. He clarifies that it is just that Uter and Cordelia are off-meta characters. Cal then adds that coincidentally, he is a warrior and the pink-haired woman Liana is a magician. Lo, a sudden burst of motivation washes over Kai and Leela as they begin to think of their task as a game. Leela confidently states that they will have no problem splitting items. Kai then affirms with a cheerful, bingo. Aaron stands with his arms crossed, a slight smile on his face while Lyra stands beside him looking off to the side. Behind them, glowing gears and faint clock numbers float in a dark, starry space. A thought bubble appears, expressing surprise. A system prompt or question materializes in a glowing banner asking if one will make the party, offering a YN choice. Aaron thinks to himself how he is doing party play now, despite not having done so a single time in 5 years. Aaron thinks that waking up in a game world is absurd enough. He then thinks it's even worse to have to party up with the person who always comes in second place. Aaron looks visibly stressed, much to Lyra's irritation. Lyra demands to know what Aaron just said, calling him a punk. Aaron then internally decides that considering the current situation, he needs Lyra to cooperate and he will just think of it as a part of life. Lyra, still fuming, points angrily at Aaron while Aaron laughs nervously. Lyra angrily repeats their question, asking what Aaron just said. Kane points a finger, telling someone to calm down. He reiterates his point, saying, "No, now," and then instructs them to calm down and listen. Lyra then thinks to herself, wondering if, since this is truly reality, they would be able to fix her 9 blocked yin pathways much faster than they could in the game. A stylized yin-yang symbol splits with its white half appearing against a light, patterned background and its dark half emerging from a deep blue, starry expanse. Kane explains that as long as they obtain an item full of harsh yang energy, they should be able to clear the blocked pathways. A character, presumably Kyle, continues to explain something about the blocked pathways. Cal then asks Lyra if she is trying to do everything by herself, reminding her that they are doing a party play. Kale asserts that once he gets better he will be of great help to Lyra, seeking her agreement. Lyra, looking rather unimpressed and twirling a strand of her hair, responds with a simple, yeah. She then adds that their plan relies on them finding an item filled with yang energy, but states there is no such item in the vicinity. Cal denies something, his hand raised to his lips in a shushing gesture, a sly smirk playing on his face. His emerald eyes hold a hint of mischief as he clarifies that there is one. He then reveals that it is located at the Belkai Mountains. Below, Ria's wide blue eyes peek into view, her expression one of surprise. Rose looks determined as she mentions the Belkin Mountains. She then reacts with surprise, questioning if they are talking about the Necklace of the Sun. Later, Kale and Rose stand outside, startled by something, and they shush each other. A character named Lyra considers the clandestine nature of their meeting. Lyra's eyes widen in alarm as they cover their mouth. Lyra then exclaims in disbelief, asking if someone is insane, stating that the Necklace of the Sun is an item dropped by Lysagang. Lyra wonders how low levels like them could possibly kill him. Lyra declares that Lysagang is a mid-game boss. Eren stands in what appears to be a garden area, with a Lu-1 status indicator floating above him. He explains that he has been brainstorming and has come up with a solution. Lyra, with wide eyes, questions if Eren truly has a solution. Eren confidently confirms that he does. Cain gazes thoughtfully with a finger to his chin, saying that he is pondering. He then suggests that they go on a date. Lyra stares back, seemingly speechless. Cain smiles widely, looking at Lyra, who appears startled and expresses her confusion. Cain then elaborates, proposing that they ride the carriage and go on a date. A white horse-drawn carriage adorned with pink roses rests in a sun-dappled garden. A sleek black horse stands patiently hitched to the carriage. Bright sunlight streams through the canopy of trees, illuminating the vibrant green grass and scattered flowers around them. Lyra's light blue shoe with a small yellow bow gently presses onto the grassy path. She muses that the weather is quite good. With a wide, joyous smile, Lyra walks hand in hand with Cain, who appears to be slightly flustered but also smiles brightly. Cain affirms her sentiment, stating that it is indeed so. Eren and Alara observe Cain and Lyra admiring the beautiful flowers in a garden. Cain remarks that seeing the beautiful flowers makes the carriage ride out here quite worthwhile. Eren clears their throat and states that the flower's beauty pales in comparison to Miss Cordelia's. Eren then quickly clarifies that, "What the fuck are you?" is not what Eren is actually saying. Cordelia expresses her dislike if she is teased. Cain laughs, then addresses Cordelia. He tells her that the view over there looks great and asks if she would like to go there with him. Cain and Lyra walk along a path blooming with flowers, their steps light amidst the floating leaves. Suddenly, Maya exclaims that she really can't do this. Eren, looking on with wide eyes, then tells Maya that he doesn't care if she curses, but she should just make sure the others can't hear her. Maya appears distressed, her eyes closed as she shouts. Cain and Lyra walk through a vibrant, flowery field, putting distance between themselves and a nearby carriage. Lyra tells Cain not to walk so fast, explaining that their pursuers might notice them trying to get farther away. Elsewhere, Eren looks frustrated as she remarks that someone is already nagging. She then demands details regarding their plan, beginning to ask how Level J's capture can proceed. Cal ponders a significant task, wondering if he must capture Lysagang to receive the Necklace of the Sun. Below the fabled Necklace of the Sun, a radiant golden pendant adorned with a brilliant red gem floats against a cosmic backdrop. The narration explains that an item exists which can suppress the powers of evil. It is then revealed that this item is dropped by Lysagang of the Red Moon. The narration further elaborates that Lysagang was a powerful monster who appeared in the latter half of the game, Legend of Heroes 2. The scene reveals that he was sealed in the Sun God's temple, which is located in the middle of the Belkine Mountains. Eren tells Cain that she never mentioned anything about capturing Lysagang. Cain questions what they are doing then. Eren dismisses the details, stating she has her own ways, and asks Cain if he brought the stuff she requested. Lysagang, a woman, states that, of course, she had a tough time because she was hiding it under her dress. Ethan smiles, he exclaims in surprise, noting that it is as expected of his Yellowstorm. Ethan adds that he will trust her since she brought with her. Lyra then appears, looking visibly angry. She declares that she does not remember ever becoming his Yellowstorm, and tells him to stop saying disgusting things. Rhea asks Alex how they are going to accomplish their task. Alex gestures with his hand, stating that it's simple. He then points into the distance, asking Rhea if she sees the cliff over there. Ren explains that he checked out the area on his way there and confirms that this particular area matches one from the game. He then tells Alara that once they arrive at that spot, he will carry her, and they will jump off. Elara looks at him, bewildered, and questions his plan. Cain explains that the Sun God's temple appears if one wraps around a flower bed and goes down. Lyra, looking surprised, asks why they have to jump off the cliff. Cain then asks if Lyra has ever gone through the West Path in the game, clarifying that it's a shortcut. A chibi representation of Leela appears angry, with wide eyes and an open mouth. Suddenly, Leela, in her regular form, turns away from Eren, looking flustered. She exclaims that she knew it and was just testing him. Eren looks at her, and he thinks to himself that he can tell from her facial expression that she really cannot lie. Commander Kai ponders their options, suggesting they could take the long way as previously discussed. However, he quickly adds that they cannot bring two others along with them. Commander Kai explains that this route would pose a significant challenge for Maya and Dahlia, as both are unable to use magic. He then has an idea, noting the inherent danger, and proposes they secure some insurance. Eren looks on with a concerned expression. Lena asks about insurance. Kyle confirms, then tells Lena that first, she must promise to listen to the entire plan without cursing and also refrain from hitting him. Lena pauses for a moment before agreeing, urging Kyle to reveal the plan. Kyle reminds her not to forget her promise. Kyle continues his thought, mentioning jumping off. Lyra and Kyle are very close, their faces mere inches apart. Kale then asserts that Lyra is using the fact that they are engaged. Lyra exclaims in utter shock.